You think they're confident? No, they're terrified. They've just mastered the art of hiding fear behind dominance, and it works frighteningly well. They walk into a room like they belong there. Shoulders straight, eyes steady, every move calculated yet seemingly effortless. But behind that calm exterior lies chaos. People who pretend to be confident aren't fearless. They're terrified of being seen for who they truly are. Their confidence is a shield, not a reflection, a strategy, not a state of mind. They've learned that showing strength keeps the world from smelling fear, so they wear it like armor, sharp smiles, controlled voices, cold eyes that don't flinch. But inside, they tremble. Every fake grin is a survival mechanism. They've been judged before, dismissed, overlooked. So now, they build a mask thick enough to protect their bruised self-worth. The world rewards certainty, not honesty. It listens to the loud, not the real. So they adapt. They act unshakable because vulnerability in their mind is a death sentence. Beneath the act, their mind is constantly scanning, measuring reactions, analyzing expressions, watching for the smallest signs of doubt. Every word they speak is filtered, controlled, edited to maintain the illusion of dominance. They know that people believe what they see. Appear confident, and you gain trust, attention, power. It's not about feeling strong, it's about appearing stronger than everyone else. That's the trick. That's the psychology. The mask of power becomes their weapon, their protection, and eventually their identity. But what they don't realize is that every performance costs them a piece of authenticity. The mask grows heavier. The silence between interactions feels longer. When they're alone, the mask doesn't come off, it tightens. There's always the same haunting thought. What if they find out? What if someone sees through it? The hesitation, the insecurity, the fear that drives it all. The act is a game of control. They can't afford to lose it. So they train their tone, rehearse their presence, and build a version of themselves that commands attention. The confident facade becomes their addiction. The admiration it brings is intoxicating. The validation feels like oxygen. But it never lasts. It fades, leaving behind the same hollow fear, the fear of not being enough without the mask. The truth is, they don't seek power, they seek protection. Every show of dominance hides a desperate need to feel safe. It's easier to act strong than to admit weakness, easier to control perception than to face reality. They perform confidence because it's the only way they know how to survive in a world that confuses silence with weakness. The tragedy? Over time, they forget what real confidence feels like. They mistake tension for strength, control for peace, arrogance for self-respect. The mask begins to crack in private moments when no one's watching. Their reflection feels like a stranger's. Their voice sounds hollow. They've built a fortress around their fear, but it's a lonely kingdom. They've mastered the performance but lost the person. And the cruel irony is this: the more they fake confidence, the more fragile they become. Because every lie they tell the world, they must first tell themselves. And that's the darkest part of it all. The illusion protects them until it consumes them. Confidence is the most powerful illusion in human psychology. People follow it, trust it, and even fear it. Those who pretend to be confident know this well. They understand that in a world ruled by perception, control isn't about truth, it's about appearance. They've learned that you don't need to be powerful, you just need others to believe you are. And once belief takes hold, everything else bends around it. Fake confidence is silent manipulation. It hides behind charm, steady tones, and rehearsed eye contact. They don't speak to connect. They speak to control the emotional temperature of the room. Every word is strategic, every pause intentional. They read people the way others read books, scanning for weakness, craving advantage. They know how easily certainty can hypnotize, how conviction, even when false, can override reason. People crave leaders, not truth-tellers. They crave security. So the pretender offers it, wrapped in confidence. It's a game of mirrors. The more composed they appear, the more others project power onto them. They use this projection as fuel. A smirk becomes a weapon, silence becomes dominance. They know exactly how long to hold eye contact before it becomes unsettling, how to make others doubt themselves without saying a word. It's not confidence, it's emotional control disguised as self-assurance. Underneath it all lies cold calculation. They study reactions, They feed off subtle shifts in body language, the trembling of a voice, the dart of an eye. To them, these are openings, cracks in the surface they can exploit. Their fake confidence makes others question their own. That's the secret. It's not about being right, it's about making others uncertain. The more uncertain others become, the more powerful the pretender feels. They understand how easily the human mind bends under pressure, how quickly admiration turns into obedience when someone appears certain. So they project certainty like a drug. They give people something to believe in, even if it's an illusion. And people follow, blind to the manipulation, because confidence is magnetic. We are drawn to it even when it's dangerous, especially when it's dangerous. But this kind of power comes with a cost. To maintain the illusion, they must stay in control, always. There's no room for doubt, no space for error. Every interaction is a performance, every emotion filtered. They must always be the one who seems unaffected, the one who never flinches, the one who never bleeds. It's exhausting, but they can't stop. Because the moment the mask slips, the illusion dies. And with it, their power. Fake confidence gives them control, but it also chains them to their act. They become slaves to their own image, the image they built to survive. Behind every confident gesture lies fear of exposure. Behind every charming smile, the desperate need to stay one step ahead. They play the role so well that even they begin to forget it's a role, but deep down they know. The manipulation is never real strength. It's borrowed power, fragile and temporary. When they're alone, the silence feels different. Without eyes to impress, the illusion fades, the mask cracks, the power dissolves. What remains is the truth they've buried. A person terrified of being seen without the armor of confidence. They crave control because they fear chaos. They manipulate others because they've never learned to master themselves. And in the end, the illusion turns inward. The manipulator becomes the manipulated. The act consumes the actor. And the confidence that once fooled everyone ends up fooling them most of all. They fear one thing more than failure: exposure. The moment someone might see through their act, everything inside them begins to crumble. They've built their entire identity on a lie, on appearing unshakable, composed, untouchable. But the truth? Their confidence is paper thin. Behind every poised smile hides the trembling question: do they see it? Do they know? That fear eats them alive. It never leaves. It becomes the shadow that follows them everywhere, quiet, patient, waiting for the mask to slip. Their ego is fragile yet loud. It needs constant proof that it's real. Every compliment feeds it. Every silence threatens it. One small criticism can shatter them more than 1,000 praises can fix. They say they don't care what people think, but that's the biggest lie of all. They care too much. They live for validation. They crave being seen as strong because deep down they feel worthless without it. That's the paradox. They want to be admired but not known, to be respected but never questioned. True confidence welcomes vulnerability. Fake confidence fears it. The faker can't afford to be real because being real would mean showing the weakness they've tried so hard to bury. They live in constant defense, guarding their image like a secret. Every interaction becomes a silent performance. Every conversation, a careful balance between revealing just enough and hiding everything that matters. Their mind becomes a battlefield, one half begging for authenticity, the other fighting to keep it buried. They study people, analyze every word, every look, always watching for signs of doubt or disbelief. It's exhausting. It's paranoid. It's survival. Because in their world, trust is danger and exposure is death. The smallest mistake feels catastrophic. A crack in the facade feels like the end. They develop habits to protect themselves: deflection, humor, arrogance, silence, anything to shift attention away from their own uncertainty. They convince themselves that confidence is control, that emotion is weakness, that vulnerability is failure. But beneath that logic hides fear. Fear of being ordinary, fear of being dismissed, fear of not being enough. So they build themselves higher, louder, harder. They demand attention just to feel visible. But here's the cruel IR. Only the more they seek validation, the emptier they become. Praise doesn't heal them. It feeds the addiction. Every compliment fades too quickly. Every reassurance wears off too soon. They need more. They chase it endlessly. And when the world doesn't give it, they spiral. The confidence they display publicly is the opposite of what they feel privately. They preach strength but live in panic. There are moments when the act cracks, a second too long in the mirror, a silence that feels too heavy. In those moments they see it, the truth they keep running from, the fear in their eyes, the desperation beneath the smile. They hate it, so they hide it again. They tighten the mask, speak louder, smile wider, anything to silence the noise inside. But the noise never stops. They fear exposure because it would mean losing control, and control is all they have left. Without it, they're forced to face the one person they can't manipulate, themselves. That's the terror that keeps them awake. That's the truth they'll never admit. The fear isn't that others will see who they are. The fear is that they might. In the beginning, the mask feels like power. It works. People notice them. They listen, they follow, they admire. Every nod, every stare of approval feels like a drug. For a while, it fills the void. The act of confidence becomes a tool for survival, a way to stand above the noise. But over time, something shifts. What started as control turns into confinement. The mask that once protected them becomes their prison. They no longer know when they're pretending. The fake confidence that once felt strategic now feels natural, too natural. It blurs with reality until there's no difference between the act and the self. They talk, move, and react as the version they created, not the person they are. And it's convincing. Everyone believes them. The problem is, no one truly knows them, and that realization burns quietly. They crave connection but can't allow it. To let someone close would risk exposure, so they keep people at a distance, even those who care. They master conversation but avoid intimacy. They speak boldly but say nothing real. They perform strength and drown in silence. Every "I'm fine" becomes a lie that grows heavier with time. The confidence that drew others in now isolates them. Inside, it's emptiness. No applause is enough. No validation is strong enough to quiet the quiet ache underneath. The more they project confidence, the less they feel it. The more they win, the hollower the victory feels. Their identity becomes a stage, polished, controlled, soulless. The world sees a leader, but they see a ghost in their reflection, someone trapped behind their own creation. The mind begins to split. Part of them longs to drop the act, to breathe without performing, to feel without analyzing. But the other part, the louder one, reminds them that the mask is all they have left, that without it, they are nothing. So they cling to it. They keep pretending. They play the role even when it hurts, because it's safer to live a lie than to face the truth. People praise them for their composure. They call them strong, fearless, admirable. Words that used to mean everything now mean nothing. They don't feel strong. They feel exhausted. Every smile feels like a task. Every confident moment feels forced. They wonder when it all stopped being real, when the act became life. But there's no turning back. Once the mask fuses with the face, removing it means tearing yourself apart. So they stay, trapped, admired, alone. The world still claps, still believes, still calls them powerful. But the sound of that applause no longer reaches them. It echoes in the hollow space inside. They've won the world and lost themselves. They've mastered the illusion but forgotten the truth. And maybe, deep down, that's what they always feared most, that there was never any real confidence to begin with. Only the illusion of it. A fragile performance standing where a person used to be. The mask doesn't fall, it fades, and when it's gone, so are they. In the end, the truth is simple and brutal. Fake confidence isn't strength, it's fear, dressed in control, painted in pride. They don't rise above others, they just hide deeper within themselves. And when the lights fade, when the eyes turn away, all that remains is silence. No mask, no power, no audience, just a trembling soul, finally face to face with what it's been running from all along, itself.